What is up, guys? It is your boy Jay here from the Movie Minute. I've got,
Chantel, as always.
and we have seen now Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We agree on a lot of movies sometimes. Then we kind of have disagreements on certain ones. But for Sonic, I feel like we've kind of been mostly level with how we felt about the movies, even though I'm not the gamer and he played some of the games as a kid. So like we've been mostly even, but this movie we're gonna be at odds for it. Not like super crazy odds, but like he's gonna be more upwards about it. I'm gonna be a little more downwards about it. The critic in me is kind of coming out tonight.
But it's gonna make for a good episode though. So make sure y'all stay tuned to the end.
We're gonna go ahead and get our spoiler-free review. But
For
what did you
sure.
think as a gamer? What did you think of the movie?
Bro, again, like all these Sonic movies are fanfare. And whoever make these movies from Sonic 1, when I think they was trolling us with Sonic 1 when they came out with the first animation of Sonic, and he had like real human teeth and real human eyes and all this other stuff. And then they like doubled down and then legit made the Sonic look the way that he did in part 1. Whoever are doing these movies, this is the main reason why right before part 3 just aired just now, they already announced that it's going to be a part 4 because everything they're doing is right. Like it's comedy, it's action, it's fanfare, it's sticking true to the material, bro. It's everything. They legit know exactly what they're doing, bro. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Now, here's an interesting fact that you probably didn't know. All the Sonic movies scores have been uh, they've been produced by Junkie XL.
Oh, okay. And if bro, that's even another point. I'm glad you brought it up. I'll bring it up a little bit later, but yeah, even the music like is just so fire, bro.
I enjoyed a lot of the Shadow story. Sonic 2 is still my favorite Sonic movie out of the three. I do think that some of the pacing of this movie, some of the choices they made were like it felt like at times that the story was just rushing to get to the next plot point because they wanted a shorter runtime for this film, whereas the last one was 2 hours long. This one was like an hour and 49 minutes without credits, and with the credits probably like an hour and 40 or an hour 39 at best. And I felt like they could have made more room for a story so that it would felt a little more paced, like better.
I don't
Like
know.
they bring in certain characters that don't really explain much. They're just like, guess what, this character's here. They don't really need much convincing to join the story, and then they just get thrown in after like a 2 second like montage. You
Yeah. Yeah, but I still feel like it's still like with that aspect, it's still fanfare, man. Like,
I'll put it this way: the third act was fantastic. I was like, I'm back in.
yes,
The post credit scene, I'm like, if this is where they're gonna, if this goes where I think they're gonna go with the next
that's
one,
exactly where they're going.
then I'm so much happier because listen, I like the human characters okay in this universe, but I think it's time that Sonic and his friends go to. I mean, we know there's other worlds and stuff. Let's have them go to these other worlds that they can get to because of the rings, and have a weird, crazy, wild adventure, and maybe have Eggman show up once or twice. Just go get away from all the human stuff. You know,
But even if they did that though, it would be more like CGI, like all CGI, like to throw the human element in there. I kind of feel like they did away with like his parents, like they did a little bit away with them,
I feel like they
and
were in it more than the first or the second movie, or right about the same.
it was kind of about the same, but I would say a little bit less because I enjoyed that a whole lot more because it was really just like the characters from the game. But of course, with the human element, because if they don't do again, it's just going to be like all CGI stuff. Because if they're on another planet, another world, it's not going to be any humans there, then everything is going to be CGI. Then it may as well just be a CGI movie.
Here's the other thing that's probably going to get me roasted and toasted on the internet. I tried to accept Keanu Reeves as a Shadow. I love the actor; he's a great guy. He was miscast. I don't think he provided to me what Shadow feels like. I think, and I know this sounds stupid, but I think Hayden Christensen, had he ever been actually offered the role for it, would have done a better job as Shadow.
For sure. I mean, Keanu Reeves probably brought people in to see the film, but all right. So I don't know. I keep wanting to spoil it, bro, but I feel like he did a good job. I feel like he was too overbrooding in the movie, bro. Like the voice and everything he was doing. I feel like that was the only horrible part about Keanu Reeves being Shadow.
Like I kept watching, like while watching the film, I kept like thinking about like what Hayden Christensen would, how he would have said those lines, and it screams Shadow to me so much more than Keanu ever could.
For sure. Now, did that ruin the
Like,
movie for you, or
it made me not connect with his backstory as much. Like I know that his backstory is pretty emotional, and in of itself, what happens is, but him voicing Shadow didn't really sell me on
okay?
the emotional weight that I'm supposed to feel.
For sure.
And also, and this is the last thing, I think that there should have just been one Jim Carrey. I think if they were still going to go with this whole grandfather thing, I almost think they should have cast somebody else to be the grandfather and not had
Why
to
you say that?
both of them. I feel like him acting against somebody else besides, like, because I think if he was
Right.
doing it with someone else, there'd be a whole lot more like back and forth with each other. And whereas it was just him saying it one time and then them doing another take and him saying it back type of thing. And I know they're not supposed to actually be like, there's not really supposed to be chemistry between the two, but like, it didn't sell for me. I feel like it
Right,
was
right.
too much Jim Carrey.
I get what you mean. They would have been able to like bounce off of each other a little bit better, as opposed to it being like me.
Jim Carrey's at his best when he has someone to bounce off of. Whereas this, it's like, I don't know. I didn't really care for that whole like bonding thing that they did.
I did. It was so hilarious, and that's why I say like the bits and pieces that they put in these movies is like enough for everybody. And to your point, like I feel like this was actually better than part two. I feel like they just keep growing and growing and growing. Like I haven't felt like, well, part two was better than part one, and oh, now part three is out. This is better than part two. Like I don't feel that way. I feel like this is a nice gradual progression to what they're doing, and that's why I go back to reiterate that I can already see why part four was already greenlit.
I am curious, off of your first watch and enjoyment, what would you give this?
Enjoyment alone, I probably get this like a 4.5 out of 5. I legit walked out of the theater like with the biggest smile on my face.
Probably could not give this movie, as far as enjoyment goes, anything more than a 3.9.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What did you get part two?
I'm pretty sure I gave part two a 5.
Oh my gosh, a 3.9, bro?
Enjoyment. I think if we were able to have seen this together, I was probably more excited with the second one, and hold that excitement because we saw it together. Whereas I saw this by myself, and I got some of the game references, but it wasn't like when I was in the theater with you for second one, where you were like, "Oh my god!" But I will say though, there was a guy sitting next to me that, and I'm gonna say this, and I might cut this out because it might sound weird, but whatever cologne or whatever, like, do you ever use that when you go out?
Yeah, all the time.
There was a guy sitting next to me that had the similar like scent.
For sure.
So you were there in spirit, or
Facts.
cologne.
Facts.
But I think I'm gonna cut that out. I don't think that doesn't mean that sounds so weird. But no,
we bros though, bro. We bros.
Yeah, I would say, you know what? I did enjoy
Nah, you
myself
can't go back
watching
and
the.
change. You can't go back and change it now.
No, but here's the thing. I'm also that score is almost a mixture of enjoyment and more so critically. And I've made a very strong point not to do critically on this channel.
You,
So I will amend this one time for not doing the right score. Enjoyment wise, I'd probably still give it a 4.5 like you did.
okay.
Critically wise, it's more like a 3.9.
All right. I'll let you slide. I'll let you slide this time.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's again still not a 5 like the last Sonic movie, but
For sure.
enjoyment, but you know,
I'll
but
give it to you. I was able to go to the fan showing of this, and unfortunately, I got there a little bit late. So they had keychains. They had keychains, and I got there late, so I can only get tails. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there like tails, so I got tails. We might do a giveaway to where the subscriber or whoever, I might just give this away to you guys because I don't know if you guys got to see this. You was able to get the keychain,
you
but
got to
I
be
wanted to
in
either
up
get
though.
facts. I wanted to either get Shadow, Knuckles, or Sonic, of course. But unfortunately, I was only able to get Tails. Oh, and it got like the Sonic 3 on the back. Pretty fire. And then this also got a poster. Poster's pretty fire too. So, but yeah. So the fan event was at like 3:00. So I had to go there a little bit early, but I still ended up getting there late somehow. But I still think it's a dope keychain. Oh, so that's the poster that you got.
I didn't get this recently. This was when the trailer first dropped. They had these at the theater.
That's fire. And clearly they're pushing in Shadow. But yeah, a nice little experience. My theater was pretty full too. So let's go.
Okay. So my theater probably didn't. I don't know how your theater was. Obviously, I had a bigger theater, but there were some scenes where people were going, "Yeah, yeah," and I was just like,
same with mine.
I was like, nerds. It's the only time I get to do it.
I was loving it. My theater was excited. Portions of the movie, like, of course, like video game references. Everybody was like cheering and all this, and especially the post credit scene or the mid credit scene, like, eruption. Like I loved it and hated it at the same time. Like as I was walking out after seeing the mid credit scene, like I was like, damn, I should have recorded it, but I was like, you know what, I got to live in the moment, bro. Like everybody loved it.
Also, you know for a fact that I would flame you,
of course,
on here for recording just after.
Of course.
Craven.
Of course. I loved it, man. I would legit go back and see it. Like if I had somebody that like it was like, hey, bro, I want to go see Sonic 3. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm in there with you.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to see it again to maybe see if there's anything better, but I do feel like my criticisms would still stand even if I went and saw it again.
Right. It's like seeing it again, like for the first time, but it's the same shit.
Yeah. Now, if I went with like you in theaters, I probably would enjoy it more, and
for sure,
criticisms a little bit.
Like again, I legit walked out of the theater with like the biggest smile on my face, and even workers there, the employees, I walked out. I was like, bro, that's fire. I said that movie was dope, and then the little chick was like, yeah, that was fire. Like super sick to me, bro.
But I think that'll pretty much wrap up our non-spoiler review because we're at 27 minutes and we'll probably get cut down by the time you see this because that's a lot to go through. But let us know what you thought of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Let us know which one is your favorite out of the three. And if you went to the theaters, how was your audience during some of the scenes? But until next time, guys, it's been your boy Jay.
Chantel.
And we are the Movie Minute. And we will be back with you next week for Nosferatu. Nosferatu keeps sticking all the lights on.